So now we have our Excel table. Let's insert a pivot table. Let's go to Insert and Pivot Table. Okay, so we have this dialog box. It says, what is your range? Now, because it's a table, it knows it as a name. So it gives us table 1. Let me escape out of that. Another thing is when we go to Table Tools, Design, the table name is here. You can change that. You can say Table 2. It doesn't really matter. Let's go again to Insert and Pivot Table. You see there, Table 2. So it sees that as just one structured reference. We have the table, that's okay. The next question it asks us is choose where you want the pivot table report to be placed. We can put it into an existing worksheet, which is somewhere in here, or we can go to a new worksheet. What it does is it creates a brand new worksheet. If I said existing worksheet, we can put it in here, or we can go into any other worksheet, okay? Now what we want is a new worksheet and press OK. So what it does is it puts it into a new worksheet in here. So from in here you can create your pivot table. But what I'm going to do is just go back in here, go again, doesn't really matter, insert pivot table, and I'm going to go another example just to show you and go to an existing worksheet and go in here, and we can just put it all the way there and press OK. All right, so it's put in the pivot table into this originally created worksheet. So if I step out of there, you can see that the field list goes away. To bring it back, you just got to step into it. Okay. Now I can close it from there, and from in here under options, I can reactivate it. I can also grab it and move it all the way across. You know, we can put it over here. To lock it back in, go all the way to the right as if you're throwing it out of the screen, and it locks back in there. So in here we have our column headings. Okay, so you see them all there. Now in the row labels, the row labels are here. Okay, going down on the left side, you can see here that's a row labels there. So in here it shows us the unique values from the field down the rows of the left side of the pivot table. And normally here we're going to put in there products, names, location, and business units. In here we're going to put our products. You can just drag and drop just like this. That's the best way. That's the way I do it. And as I've done that and dropped it in here, you can still get a live preview, and it gives us the unique values that pertain to the products column. Now I'm going to grab the salesperson and drop it in there. So you can see we have the products and the salesperson. I can also move it to the top and have the salesperson on top and the products in there. Okay, that's the row labels. Now the column labels up here, it's what goes across here, okay, on the top. And usually we have the trending there. So we have months, periods, and years, okay? So in here, we're going to grab the year and just drag and drop into the columns, okay, as you can see there. Let me just move it all the way here. Okay, so you can see it much better, okay? So we get a live preview of the unique items that are within the year. So we had 2012, 2013, and 2014. Okay, now the values which is in here, which is in the guts of the pivot table, here we put in our sales normally. Okay, so let's get our sales in here and drop it in there. So as you can see, it's put it all in order for us in years and in salesperson and products. In the report filter, we put items that we want to drill down on. For example, regions, employee names, lines of business. So in here, let's just put in, for example, let's put channel partners, okay? And you can see the filter comes up there, okay? So we can drill down from there. So as you can see, we've done a quick pivot table in a matter of minutes. It's as easy as that. Now, if you have any questions, just type it in now, and then I'll get back to you at the end of the course. Now, once again, this is being recorded and you're going to receive this video, and then you can have a look at it at your leisure. So very easy. I just did it in a couple of minutes. I was explaining it, but it doesn't really matter. If you don't want to have sales personnel, you're going to have a year in the row labels, you just take it, drop it, and drag it across, just like that. It doesn't really matter, okay? Or you can put it in there. You can chop and change. It just depends on what you want to show or what your boss is looking for. At the end of the day, we always get the instructions from our bosses because they get instructions from their bosses, and we always create those reports based on their needs. And it changes from day to day or from week to week. If you do a cool report, I'm sure that your boss is going to come back to you the next day and say, oh, can you do me another report of this and that? So once you get the appetite wet, they're going to come back to you all the time, and they're going to love you for it. Trust me.